So let me talk about the introduction to the ethics of computing and professionals. And then in this introduction, so we will try to go over some basic concept, and then we just open the door why we need to care about the ethics of the computing and then what's happening in the information age, etc. So what will be covered in this lecture? So we will cover what is ethics of computing, why do we need ethics of computing, so professionalism and also the code of ethics of computing. So at the very beginning, we want to know what is ethics. Okay, we want to know what is ethics. So let me introduce a simple examples for the ethics first. So this one is called the trolley problems. So this here, I guess you have heard about this kinds of problem on the Facebook or on the forums. Okay. So it's first introduced by Philippus Foot in 1967, and then is also extremely analyzed by Julie Thomas and other different psychologists later and later. So the easier understanding for the trolley exercise is you are here. So this one is you. So you are here. You see a one-away trolley. So this one is a one-away trolley. Okay. And then moving towards to 5 people. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 people moving to a 5 people. And then for you, you are controlling a lever. So here is just like a switch. Okay, here is just like the switch. If you have two situations. So the first one is if you do nothing. If you do nothing, definitely these 5 people will die. Okay, if you do nothing, the 5 people will die because the trolley will kill these 5 people. But if you pull the levers, and then you can change the directions of the trolley, and then the 5 people will be alive, and these people will die. Okay, okay. So now is the situations. Okay. So before we ask you about what is your decisions, let's have a look with the videos. So I've prepared a good video for you. Just wait a moment.
Uh-oh, Nicholas. This train is going to crash into these 5 people. Should we move the train to go this way, or should we let it go that way? Which way should the train go?
This way. Uh-oh.
So after you have watched the videos and then discuss about the action of this child, so I would like to ask your decision. So if you are the one holding the lever, holding the switch, okay, so will you switch the chat and then let the trolley to go to another side, okay? So I guess most of you guys will switch the chat and then let the trolley to go into this way, okay? To go into this way, okay? The reason is you want to save more people, okay? You want to save more people. So somehow it's about our personal belief, okay? Our personal belief. Of course, some of you guys will say that I will not, pull the lever because if I do not pull the lever, then these 5 people was killed by nature. Okay, it's only an accident. Okay, it's only an accident. It's killed by accident. It's a random event. It's nothing related to me. But if I pull the lever, okay, if I pull the lever, and then it's my responsibility, or it's not by a random or accident. It's I kill that people. Okay, I kill that people. Okay, I kill that people. Okay. So whatever you are pull the lever or not, so in this course we are going to teach you how to use different tools to evaluate your decision making. Okay, to evaluate your decision making. Okay. So as I told you that most of the people will pull the lever and then let the trolley to go this way, and then these guys will be killed. Okay, you do this way because of a ethical thinking or because of a psychology ways called utilitarianism. Okay, you want to maximize or produce the greatest well-being, okay, of the greatest number of peoples, okay, the greatest number of people. Of course, if you go into this way, only one was killed, but if you go to another way, that means 5 of them were killed. Okay, for a better understanding or better measurement, right? So of course, 1 people die is better than 5 people dies. Okay, but in our practical case, this kind of utilitarianism is hard to do, okay, because you need to define lots of the things before you use the utilitarianism. The first thing is, of course, is the well-being. What is the good to the public, okay? So in this case, it's easy. Trolley problem is easy to understand because the well-being is alive or not. But if you are thinking that one is alive and other is die, or one is alive and other is happy, or if the well-being of these 2 trolley are different, right? So definitely you need to have another measurement. Another thing is greatest number of peoples. Okay, so how to define the peoples? Is the people in your country, or is the people in your at your home, or is the people in the whole world? Okay. So we need to define these kind of things. So in this course, we are going later on next lessons. We are going to discuss the utilitarianism, and then we are going to teach you use this kind of tools. It's a natural, okay. It's a natural tools, okay. That means that you can do it to pros or cons your options. Okay, it really depends on how you evaluate the questions. And in this course, I will talk again in next lessons. I'm going to evaluate. That means your markings. That means my marking or your marks. I will going to evaluate the way that you use the tools. Whatever the decision that you have made, I will give you the marks. Okay, I care about the step that you are correct or not. I will not care the ethical decision making that you are going to make some evil decision or something like that. Okay, if your step of using these tools is correct, okay, so I will still give you marks. Okay, I will still give you marks. Okay, this example is interesting. and is further evaluated by different kinds of people. So if you go to the internet and search chart example, definitely there are lots of extreme idea to do it. Okay, so if you apply utilitarianism, so what should you do? Go to A, B, or C? Definitely, again, you push into the B. Okay, you go to the B if you apply the utilitarianism, because here we have 4, and then here we have 9. Okay, here we have 9. And if you care about the well-being, if the well-being is the same, right? ABC is only alive, so definitely one was killed. It's better than all of them, better than 4 or better than 9 of them were killed. Okay. But in another way, now if I don't know why you are standing, you and your friend is a fat boy. Okay, he is a fat boy standing on the beach, and then the trolley is going to pass away. The only way to stop this trolley is you pull your friend into it, and then to stop the trolley, and then to save these 5 people. Okay, to save 5 people. So I would like to ask, will you do it, do nothing, or pull the fat your friends, the fat guys, into the well rate? Okay, so it turns to another situation. And most of the people in this situation, they will not pull the fat guys. Okay, they will pull the fat guy, because the previous examples, you will feel that I'm not doing, or I'm not killing the people because I only pull the lever. I'm not doing it by my hand. I'm not doing it by my hand. But in this time, you're doing it by your hand. Okay, and then you feel guilty. If this guy is your friend, right? So you have a close relationship with him, definitely you will not do it. Okay, you just let these 5 people die, and then you don't want to kill your friend. It's our human being. Okay. So this example comes into a really interesting example about utilitarianism, and next lessons we will discuss more about these tools. So here talk about another case to use utilitarianism and then to evaluate a computer-related events. Okay, so in 2014, so a criminal in U.S. hold a gun and then killed 14 people. 22 people was injured. Okay, so this is called a terrorist attack. And at that time, the police in United States, they catch these criminals, and then they want to unlock his iPhone to get the information, because they want to know what's going on with these guys, and then what is his next step. Is there anyone connect with these guys, etc., etc., etc. Okay. So for the point of view about the FBI, okay, for the point of view about the FBI, if you apply the utilitarianism, and then if you define the peoples, okay, I should benefit to most of the people if I define the people as the United States people. Okay, so definitely the FBI can ask Apple to unlock the iPhone, okay, to unlock the iPhone. But somehow Apple have another point of view. So they define they are still use the utilitarianisms, but they define the people as the whole world. Okay, as the whole world. Okay, so if I do the situations with you like that, that means I create a backdoor inside my iPhone system, and it's not fair to all the user in the whole world. Okay, it's not fair for the user in the whole world. So they discuss with each other, and then this dispute has been put into the court, and then discuss with each other. And finally, FBI withdraw the request. Okay, so now the FBI still cannot ask the iPhone or cannot ask the Apple to unlock the phone. So this is how the utilitarianism can be a natural tools, and then can be used to pose a statement or cause a statement. Okay, so those are the general tools for it. So here are some better understanding or definitions about the ethics. So the ethics is the rules, okay, rules, or in a better words is a conventions, rules or conventions. about our peoples. Okay, so we have a consensus, we have a common belief about our societies. Okay, our society life. So if we have the common belief, and then if everyone obey this rule, our society can be improved and can be growth. Okay, and then we feel safe to put in to live inside these societies, and our properties and our life can be protected. So this is the basic concept of the ethics. Okay, basic concept of the ethics. Okay. But of course, there are lots of conflicts between the laws and also between these kinds of common rules. Okay, so these kinds of the moral code or the rules really depends on the age group, on the cultural background, on the religions, on the gender, etc., etc., etc. Okay, for example, so I put my grandma in a retirement home. Okay, because I cannot look after her, so it's better to find someone to look after her. Okay, so this one may be true in United States and in many Western countries, because the teenagers or the youngest, they need to go outside and work, and they need to care about their own family. So most of the grandma or grandparents, they live in the retirement home, and then let the nurse or let the special care unit to care them. But in China, it's another case. Okay, so it really depends on the cultural backgrounds. So example one is define how we define ethics, and then the ethics or the moral rules is changed in every different country and cultural background. Okay, again, should I use on manufacturing, or should I buy illegal software? So this is another terms about the situation in our IT. Okay. So why this one should be discussed? Because some of the city, some of the country, they will say that the price of the software is really high, and then I cannot afford, and then it's not fair, it's not a fair trade to some developing country. So now the situation is like that. So if you have heard a free premiums, that means that lots of the software development house, they will charge a high price for some Western country or some developed country. And then for some developed country, for example, Africa, or for example, some country in the Southeast Asia, so they will offer a reasonable price or even free of charge to let the user to enjoy. So this is another example, and then we will talk about this kind of the fairness in later on in our lesson 2. In our society, there are lots of different things that is related to ethics, related to our real life situations. For example, extortion is more or not. So the baby is mine. So should I kill the baby? This is my freedom, or is already alive? Okay, so we cannot just say we just kill a unbirthed baby is moral. Okay, and then, for example, the affirmative action is correct or not. Should we do something that we think is right, and then we fight against, and then in any cost? So these kinds of issue you can have a look, and then yeah, there are lots of different things we should discuss in our lessons. But unfortunately, because we focus on computer technologies, we focus on IT, we focus on computing. So if your case study choose this kind of questions, I'm sorry that it's not allowed, because none of the things is about the IT. Okay, it's about the IT. Of course, you can use the model tools, or you can use the different model to evaluate outside the class or after our classroom. So you can do this kind of thing, but I'm sorry for your case study. If you really want to pick up this kind of cases, you cannot be used. Okay. So there are some definitions about computer ethics. Okay. So yeah, there are lots of different definitions. So somehow someone's defined that is a ethical problem that is transferred or created by the computer technologies. Okay, so it's called the computer ethics. Okay, so this one. Another one, they will say that the computer technology try to pose the new versions of the standard and then problem to our society. Okay. So of course, this one can be used inside your statement. For example, I want to create a statement about evaluate the IT system or evaluate the IT crimes, and then I want to have a opening, or I want to have a problem statement to define what is ethics. So definitely this one can be helped. Okay. We will not discuss which one is better. In fact, you can use all of them, or you can pick up once. Okay. So after we have discussed different situation, we'll come back to these lines, and then I will try to make my definition. So what is computer ethics? Okay, what is computer ethics? Okay, and then how it's related to our technology, etc. Okay, but in this line, I want to figure out one more wording. So it's called the Moodle. Yeah, here it's called the Moodles. Okay, it's called the Moodle, conceptual Moodles. Okay, so we have defined lots of different policy or lots of different rules. So in the social contract, we'll discuss more. But somehow, inside the information age, the technologies we change our technology in a really fast rate. Okay, so you define the terms, and then maybe 2 or 3 years later, terms will be changed, or the mode of interaction is changed. Okay, so this another problem. There are lots of different rules cannot be applied in the information age. Okay, cannot be applied for the information age, and then it creates something called conceptual models. So a better understanding, or a better speak what is the things of Moodle is somehow can you use something to describe internet. Okay. So internet is a kind of conceptual Moodle. Okay, we have the internet, but it's really hard to use our social norm or physical term to describe the internet. So you can describe the internet in a hardware ways. For example, it's a connection of server, and then lots of the server they are connected with each other, provide the information, etc. You can also divide the internet as a information level. So there are lots of information, then they are linked with each other. Okay. And then you can also divide the internet in the interactions level. So we go to internet, and then we do something that can be or cannot be handled in the physical realms. Okay, so even now in lots of different countries, it's hard to have a pure definitions about internet. Okay, but we have the internet for more than 30 years. Okay, 20 something, for more than 20 something. Okay, but still it's hard to find out the description about internet. So how do you define the blockchain? How do you define the AI? So how do you define lots of different computer technologies that will be generated for each year or for each few months? Okay, it's hard and it's Moodle. So somehow besides the law definitions, we need to have some code of ethics, or we need to have some guideline to help us to handle our ethics issue in fact besides of the law system. So in this course, we have 2 levels to check out how we can define the computer ethics. Of course, we use traditional Western theory. Okay, traditional Western theory that we have briefly discussed. Utilitarianism is one of them, and then later on we have the caste theory. We have different social contract to evaluate, and then we need to know different kinds of computer professional. Okay, and then how they apply or how they use the code of ethics to do it. We will apply these 2 levels, and then have a look what is computer ethics. Okay, to handle the cyber ethics, to handle the internet ethics, AI ethics, or even the cryptocurrency. Okay, so depends on how many depends on how we can go so far, and then we will try to discuss this kind of case by case. So anyone know these guys? So last year, this guy is called Bai So he tried to vote lots of the $100 on the top of a building in 深水埗. Okay, so what's going on here? And then yeah, what's going on? This guy is going to sell some cryptocurrency. It's called the Filecoins. Called the Filecoins. Okay, so if someone want to buy the Filecoins, and then he can sell the server to him or her. Okay, so here we bring a new problems about our new terms. That means the models. Okay, the conceptual models. Okay, blockchain is something new in our internet world, or even in our human world. So at the very beginning, we use to do the transactions, we use Visa or Master. Okay, Visa or Master. Somehow you will use the AE, or you will use the UniPay, is another story. So most likely handled by the Visa and Master. And then for each transaction, it charge about 3% of the transactions. Some people say that, oh, the currency or this kind of transaction should not be dominated by this kind of huge monster. Okay, so they think that we could share the computation power and then try to do this instead of centralized approach. Okay, instead of Visa and Master approach. That's why we have thinking of decentralized database, and this called blockchain. And then blockchain will change. Blockchains they try to elaborate and then change into something, say that is a cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is one of the use. Okay, Bitcoin is one of the use. So at the very beginning, the thinking is really good. We want to decentralize all the things. We want the people can enjoy the transactions in a lower price. But it turns out of lots of the problems about Bitcoins. And then it turns out lots of the problem about the cryptocurrency. For example, the Filecoins from Bai Xiuye. Okay. And then it turns lots of the social problems, and then someone is just getting money from this kind of cryptocurrency instead of making a good use of cryptocurrency and blockchain. And then another problem is about the energy consumed inside this kind of because you want to get a key for you to do the message hash and then to encrypt all the transactions. And now if you calculate the energy consumed Visa or Master, such kind of server client, and then such of traditional approach is only 0.01 per unit. But for the Bitcoins, because now we need to have lots of the power to get the key, and now it's more than 200. So you see, the comparison of them is really high, and it's not environmental friendly. Okay, so we will try to discuss this kind of things, or somehow if you are interested in cryptocurrency, you can pick up a case. Okay, you can pick up a case for you to study and then put into your case study for your assignment. So what is computer crime? And then if you want to know more into computer crime, nowadays you can still go to our police website. Okay, so there are different kinds of computer crime they mentioned inside their website. For example, there are some fake message. Okay, fake message from the e-banking. There are some social media deceptions, etc. So if we have time, let us have a look with one video.
阿媽翻嚟啦！
哦，翻嚟啦！你肚唔肚餓啊？煮個麵俾你食好唔好啊？
唔食啦，
揾到嘢做未啊？
揾緊啦。
唉，你日日都係咁嘅，一翻親嚟就掛住入房，我都唔知你搞乜鬼啊！我而家出街啊！你肚餓就喺雪櫃攞嘢食啦喎嚇！
哦。
Marco 啊，同你喺網上都識咗一段時間啦，我想見下你啊，不如用 SP 視像通話啊，咁樣傾偈開心啲喎。
OK。
咦，你個樣肥嘟嘟都幾可愛喎。
Mandy，你都好得啦，仲着到好性感添。
咁 咁你想唔想再睇多啲啊？
吓？
到你啦！
吓？我？
得我俾你睇晒都唔公平。
阿仔啊，我買蛋撻俾你啊！哎呀，你做乜除咗呢衫佢啊？你跟住冷親啊！
咁天氣熱，咪除衫咯。
唉，都唔使連條褲都除埋㗎，可以開冷氣㗎嘛。
幫你慳電啊嘛。
仲講？你反咗一條褲佢啊！
喂，揾你做咩啊？
揾到啦，陣間晏晝去見工。
你咁咪好咯，食飯慢慢講。
好啊。哎呀，
咩事啊？你咩唔怕講喎，幫到手噶喎。
之前上網同人玩裸聊。
哇，裸聊唔着衫嗰陣，你咁正？
唉，依家嗨咗嘢啊！佢影低晒我冇着衫嗰啲相，話要我俾2萬蚊佢喎。如果唔係，就將我啲相公諸於世，擺晒上網。咁點算啊？
哇，咁大鑊，咁咪點算啊？報警咯！
吓？報警？
行咩啊？行啦！
睇完頭先嘅片段，希望大家對呢一類型網上罪案有所警惕。千祈唔好因為一時之快而跌入騙徒嘅陷阱啦。今日我哋仲邀請到商業罪案調查科科技罪案組嘅黃 Sir 咧，嚟同大家講解一啲防罪資訊嘅。黃 Sir 你好。你好。黃 Sir 可唔可以同大家講解一下呢一啲罪案近期嘅趨勢呢？
好啊。其實近年嚟咧，呢啲罪案都有上升嘅趨勢㗎。咁喺2012年啦，警方咧就總共接獲咗60宗同裸聊有關嘅勒索案件嘅，受害人嘅年齡咧係介乎於19歲至到50歲。當中啊有14個受害人咧更加按照匪徒嘅指示，透過匯款公司將介乎港幣500元至到23,400元咧係匯款去到外地嘅。
黃 Sir 有啲乜嘢建議可以俾翻嗰啲經常上網交友嘅人士呢？
警方喺度特別提醒大家，喺網上交朋結友嘅時候，就一定要提高你哋嘅警覺同埋防罪意識。喺未了解對方嘅真正身份同埋佢嘅可靠性之前，千祈唔好將你哋嘅個人資料透露俾對方。另外，亦都千祈唔好將你哋嘅私人照片傳俾對方。
有一句宣傳嘅口號，好值得大家喺網上交友嘅時候緊記㗎，就係網上虛擬，交心不易。初初相識，記得要保持警惕啦。只要大家喺網上交友嘅時候，保持審慎嘅態度，就唔會咁容易跌入騙徒嘅陷阱，甚至乎招致損失啦。
I'm sorry, I cannot find the English versions, but this kind of issue we call it online lecture blackmail. Okay, here. If you want to know more, so you can go to this YouTube and have a look. Okay. So yes, this is one of the possible computer crime. So another one is So another about the computer-related crime. So this one is the online love scam. Okay, online love scam. So I think you know who it is, right? So he is Harry, the Prince of the United Kingdom. I don't know he's now moving to the Canada, or he has successful to move to Canada or not. Okay, but before he moved to Canada, he is the Prince of the United Kingdom. And the situation is, because nowadays we are familiar with the online behavior. So we do the shopping online, and then we have our cooperative online, and now you are enjoying the online materials. So because we familiar with the online, and then we think that we can still find our lover online. Okay, find our lover online. Even we only can chat with them, and then even they cannot send any photo, any videos. But you still think you are falling in love with him. Okay. In Hong Kong, there are lots of different this kind of situations, and then just one case. Last year, a woman fell in love with the online scam. He spent more than 180 millions of Hong Kong dollars. Okay, sent to this kind of criminals. Okay. So why I need to mention this kind of computer crimes? The reason is there are lots of computer-related crime. For example, lots of data information damage about the IT resources. You lost the money throughout the online scam, etc. Okay. So the major problem is all of this kind of crime relate to computer or driven by the computer technologies. Okay. Beside or without or before the computer, is this kind of situations happen in our human world? The answer is yes. Okay, the answer is yes, but in another form. So one of my definitions about computer crime is, so we have our evil inside. We have our evil inside. Computer technologies or computer-related crime somehow is another or faster way, or we call it catalyst, 催化劑. Okay, catalyst to change this kind of our human behavior into a faster way and speed up all the process. Okay. In fact, the core is about our evil. It's about our greedy. It's about we want some things, perhaps the money, perhaps the love from the others. So why we need computer ethics? The reason is so computer technology is only a catalyst to speed up all the process. It can be good, and also it can be bad. Okay, it can be good, and also it can be bad. But somehow, if we are using our traditional law system, okay, you remember we set up a new law inside the Legislative Council. It takes years to define a law. Okay. And then inside the computer concept, there are lots of conceptual models. There are lots of conceptual models that cannot be understand really. We cannot state the definitions of this kind of model very clearly. So we need some things. We need some ethics to different our policy, or to different our actions inside the computer, because the speed of the computer technology is really fast. Okay, we cannot just use the policy-oriented or law-oriented approach to fulfill the need. Okay, that's why we need to learn the ethics in this course, and then we want you guys to do something good to our society. Okay. And of course, some of the major issues driven by the computer technologies about the ethics. For example, we have the IP, okay, because today it's easy to copy and then to modify the songs. For example, you have heard a Chinese song called Ye Long Disco. So now it turns to another IP problem with the song owner of this kind of music, okay. And then we also want to know more about the freedom. So can I talk anything that I want on the internet or not? Okay. And then there are lots of the things about the trust. For example, the SCAM about the trust and truth. Okay. about the scam, and then also about the fake call from your banking, or fake call from your delivery, etc. Okay, so there are another problem about the privacy, social network, etc., etc. So those kind of things is somehow it's a computer technology. It try to driven our evil. Okay, it try to driven our evils, and then speed up the whole process. That is, we want to put extra care about this kind of technology, or these kind of things. Okay.